Hey friends, welcome to One Flight Down Basement Beer Tastings. Today we're checking out a beer from the Sleeping Giant Brewing Company called Mr. Canoehead. All right, so this beer comes to me from my lovely partner Catherine, who was in Northern Ontario a month or so ago for a music festival and brought me back a couple beers, including this one, Mr. Canoehead. I mean, that is a fantastic label. So Mr. Canoehead, I don't know, I think maybe you might have to be of a certain age to get the reference, but there was a sketch comedy show in, I think it was 1986, a very short-lived sketch comedy show on the CBC here in Canada. It was called Four on the Floor. I think I watched one episode, and the only thing I remember from it was a character named Mr. Canoehead. And he basically looked like that, just a guy with a canoe for a head. Yeah, it was a very short-lived sketch comedy show. From what I remember, I wasn't a big fan, you know, my discerning 16-year-old tastes. Yeah, I guess that was what passed for comedy in Canada in the years between SCTV and Kids in the Hall. Anyway, this beer, Mr. Canoehead, from the Sleeping Giant Brewing Company. It is 5.1% alcohol style. This is a red India Pale Ale. The malts and hops of this aromatic award-winning hoppy red ale will strike you like a lightning bolt without fusing your canoe to your head, thankfully. There's a little logo on here. It says Frantics. I'm not sure what the Frantics. I wonder if that has something to do with Four on the Floor, if the Frantics is part of that. Yeah, I guess I should have researched that a bit more. I remember Mr. Canoehead from Four on the Floor, but it says the copyright is owned by the Frantics. So maybe that was the name of the troupe, or they changed their name to the Frantics. Yeah, anyway, this looks like a pretty interesting beer. I don't think I've ever had a red India Pale Ale before. Let's check this out. That shakluk was more like just a crack. All right, what do we have here? Very bubbly and active. I wouldn't say it necessarily looks that red to me. More of a light brown ale. Put it under this light here. What do we see? I think, yeah, it definitely gets some red. It's reddish brown. And it's got this nice kind of like a light beige head on it. And it's quite active. I don't know if you can quite make that out, but there's a pretty healthy upside down snowfall going on in there. Oh, and the head is nice and thick too. I don't think you can make that out, but it's a nice thick head that's starting to do that wonderful shape that a lot of IPAs get, where it kind of stays nice and thick in the middle. Anyway, let's see what it's like on the nose. I'm getting a maltier note on the nose. It smells kind of like it looks. Like it smells like it would be more of a maltier, like brown ale kind of a thing. All right, well, let's go in for a taste, see what we got. Cheers. Yeah, that's pretty nice. And it is different. It is like super, super crisp and bright up front. It does have a lot of like the characteristics of a red ale. So I know some of that maltier note in there. And yeah, like leans more toward that in taste than an IPA, that's for sure. There is a bitterness at the end though. There's a nice little bitterness. Yeah, that's a super decent beer. Mr. Canoehead. So if you live in Ontario, you might be able to find this one. Shane, Drew, keep your eyes peeled. It's from Thunder Bay, not quite your area of the province, but you might see it somewhere. And yeah, it's a decent little beer. I'd recommend that for sure. All right, friends, thank you so much for dropping by the Terry Isle Basement Pub. Hope to see you all again real soon. Cheers, my friends.